All right, to another type of derivative. You're likely familiar with CFDs, even if you haven't traded them. Basically, they enable speculation on asset price movements, be that equities, commodities, Forex, or indices, without the ownership. So the trade is on the price difference between the contract opening and closing, hence the name, contracts for difference. So CFDs are leveraged. They offer potential for significant gains from a smaller initial investment, but they also carry greater risk. We're now getting, and I'm really pleased about this, an exclusive early look at an evolution in CFD trading here in Australia with Swyftx, which is a crypto exchange. Joining me now to discuss it all is Tommy Honan. Tommy, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Nadine.
Look, I know you know a lot about this market, so let's just step back and talk about trends and derivatives in the market from your view.
Sure. So we're talking about kind of specifically crypto derivatives today.
Yep.
2024, we saw globally about 3 trillion of crypto derivatives traded. We're expecting that to exceed, well, 10x essentially in 2025. So we're looking at 25 to kind of 30 trillion in global derivatives trading across CFDs and other types of derivatives.
So is that volume growing because of all the headline risk that we have out there right now?
Yeah, look, I think there's been a pretty of a 180 shift in the market. Obviously, everyone's pretty familiar now with the Trump trade and everything that he has done. He's came out and endorsed crypto. He said that the US market, they want to be the leaders in the space. That has really, I guess, set the fire behind a lot of traders in the market. We're seeing volumes just increase month on month. It's been a huge growth area, and derivatives, when you kind of map derivatives against spot, it's always kind of 2.5 to 3x more in terms of its volume because you're using leverage and you have kind of other instruments at play.
Yep, so when you're talking, and this is just for our audience, you're talking spot, so that's actually owning the digital asset,
Correct.
the coin,
Yep.
As opposed to trading in the CFDs.
Correct, yeah. So with your spot market, you have to worry about things like, do I have a wallet? You know, obviously on the Swyftx side, we do provide that for users, so it is quite simple. But a lot of people kind of they feel like there's a larger curve for them to try and increase their knowledge, try and get access. So the CFD or the derivative product is something that people are a little bit more comfortable with. They come in, it is a regulated product. A lot of spot products globally are still in that unregulated space. We are, on the Swyftx side, we're working with Treasury and ASIC and the regulators to try and smooth out and get those fit for purpose regulations landed in market, hopefully in the next kind of 18 months.
But just in case people missed it, CFDs are regulated.
Correct, yes. So your CFD product is an ASIC regulated. There's a derivative authorization under an AFSL. So that comes with all things like, you know, your consumer protections. It means that these products are heavily scrutinized and properly managed. Not to say that the spot products aren't with, you know, reputable businesses like Swyftx, but there is that kind of clear difference and line in the sand between both products.
So volumes growing globally. Trump, Iran, like you can name
Correct.
it,
Yeah.
that is bringing a lot of attention to using derivatives and to the volume. But how about here in Australia? I mean, are we seeing that here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I can speak to the Swyftx demand. We've been in business now about 7 years. To give it a bit of context on us, we're a crypto native kind of first platform. So we started in the spot space, and now we're starting to move closer to the regulated product space. Rolling out, which we'll discuss in a minute, we are rolling out a brand new kind of product in market to service wholesale clients with the view that later on we will roll it out to retail. The Australian consumers, the demand has been growing and growing. 7 years we've been getting asked about when are we going to launch a product. The biggest thing for us is, and the reason why we've built this is not only just the demand, but we've actually seen a lot of Australian investors go overseas, use really high leverage products and actually fall afoul of some of the, you know, lesser known, lesser regulated products. So for us, I guess it's part of our theme, and part of what we want to do is create this kind of a safe harbor, safe haven for Aussie investors that want to get access to these type of instruments.
Okay, so let's talk about it then.
Yep.
So this hasn't actually been released, has it?
It's in beta testing at the moment. So
What's it called? Do we have a name for it?
Yeah, so it's a derivative CFD product, and it's Swyftx derivatives. So it is we're rolling it out to wholesale users at the moment. It's a product that there are similar products in market. What we've focused on Swyftx side is risk disclosure, risk management. These products globally, they don't have a great reputation with respect to clients and their performance across the products. We see in global numbers 60% to 80% of clients lose money on derivatives. This is why, or CFD derivatives, this is why we have really focused on the risk assessment, risk management piece for investors. Key difference between our platform and what we've built and the innovative part that we've lent into is you are 100% in control at all times of your where you're at from a risk perspective. We have disclosures on the front end. You get notifications for every type of an alert. It's really something that we focused on.
So we've got just a screenshot up there right now. So this is sort of what, like a dashboard?
Yeah. So we've created this dashboard. Traditionally with CFD products, when you go into trade, you click on, you go straight in and you're trading, right? You're looking at a chart. We've actually tried to soften the landing for investors and kind of bring them on that journey of, let's look at my risk first. Let's understand where I'm at if I have open positions. I can manage them without actually going into that trading environment. So it's kind of a stepping stone into trading environment that we've created on our site.
So that is sort of like a typical view.
Yep.
The one that we saw prior was the initial dashboard, but can traders still look at charts if they're so interested?
Absolutely. So your next stepping stone from the risk disclosure, your asset management dashboard, is into the trading environment. That's where you'll see your charts. That's where you can still manage your positions in those environments. Long and short, 5X is what we're rolling the product out with initially. So it'll be for wholesale users only for a period of time, basically to create that demand, and we want to really test it out with the wholesale investors before we roll it out to retail as well.
Can you just explain 5X for those who might not be okay?
Sure. Yeah. So 5 times leverage. So if you've got $100 of collateral, you can actually do a $500 trade. So that's how we explain
And
it.
is that unique to Swyftx?
So on the wholesale investor side, on crypto CFDs, it is regulated by ASIC to 20x maximum for wholesale investors, 2x maximum for retail investors. We've actually decided to, again, soften it, focus on the risk management and disclosure piece. We're only rolling it out 5x initially for wholesale. We'll see what demand brings, we'll see what users' feedback comes back like, but that can be ramped up to 20x if the demand is there for users. For retail, later on in our product lifecycle journey, when we bring that out, it will always only be a 2x long or short product.
So earlier in this event, we were talking about having a view on the market. So if you are interested in crypto derivative CFDs, do you have to have a very firm view on where you anticipate the price of crypto to head?
Yeah, I mean, the derivative products inherently, crypto itself is the the market's very well aware it's the most volatile asset now class that we trade. That's why there's so much increasing demand for leverage products. People are looking for that opportunity. You know, we see a lot of macro events. You mentioned Trump and Iran, the war that's going on over there at the moment. These events hit the crypto market first. So it is the risk on asset, it is the risk on trading environment. So that's where these leverage products give people the opportunity to speculate on that, whether we're looking for a sell-off, a downside risk, or we're seeing, like with Trump and some of his tariff announcements, we see kind of 180 reversals in the space of minutes or hours on these products. So that's what it really does. It is a short-term trading product. Like I mentioned earlier, Swyftx is also a spot trading platform, so we have people coming in, buying and holding, building positions like you would in an equity, like a Tesla stock or a CBA stock. So we have the kind of two options now for users if they want to do short-term trading or they want to kind of build more holistic portfolios.
And so you're saying that this was in response to requests, I suppose, from your existing user base?
Yeah. We've got, at the moment, we recently acquired a company called Easy Crypto, which accounted for about 60% of the New Zealand market share. That brought Swyftx up to about 200 staff and 1.2 million users. So we've got a pretty solid user base now of demand. Every second request that we get through on the product side, I'm the director of product there, so I'm kind of looking at these things come through in real time, this feedback from users. It's great to see, but derivatives is top of the list, and it has been 7 years we've been in business. I've been at the company about 6.5 years as the first employee, and it's something that we've just constantly tracked, and it took us a while to get there. It's something that we definitely wanted to upskill across the business from an operational perspective. There's licensing aspects, like I mentioned earlier, the difference between spot and this regulated product. So we wanted to take our time and do it right, do it slowly, and that's kind of where we're at today. So really exciting to launch it very soon.
Kind of your baby, you could say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So just to be clear, and I'm asking just because I know that there will be people wondering, you can have a Swyftx account, and have spot. And so
Yep.
would you be switching to a different screen or switching to a different view?
We have purposely segregated spot, non-regulated, from the derivative regulated products. So we have created, look, it's a very seamless integration. I'm a product guy. I don't want to, you want the user experience, focus on the user experience, but there is a very clear delineation between money that you have in your spot account and money that you have in your derivatives regulated account. And we've done that purposely while maintaining a kind of a good user experience along the way.
So what are some of the big trends in crypto? Large platforms like Swyftx, obviously there's an evolution going on to more, can I even say to more traditional finance sort of outlets? Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of trends across platforms like Swyftx now are being seen as these new age the new age of traditional finance, blending crypto and traditional finance together. Something we're really focusing on our side, and again, to speak to the demand, users want more use cases. Crypto's kind of, I'll admit, I've been in crypto a long time. 2013, I got involved in the market initially. Crypto has suffered from a use case problem. People always say we've got these products or these instruments that you can trade. What do you actually do with them? What can I do with them? So a trend that we're seeing is the demand for collateral. So people speak about Bitcoin being this kind of closest correlation with gold as an example. Gold is a fantastic collateral asset. Bitcoin now is starting to, and it's something we're also developing on the Swyftx side, is lending against your Bitcoin, obviously with protections in there. Lending payments is a really big one. Blockchain technology opens up payments instant and free, essentially, is kind of where it's at. And then also kind of spending tied to those exchange platforms, or like I said, the crypto first blended with TradFi platforms. So you're looking at, you've got derivatives, you've got spot, you've got payments, you've got lending, all in one place. You've got multi-asset. So it's really almost, replacing some of the traditional finance. And this is what our users tell us. They want us to keep leaning into this because we have high trust with our users, and it is something that they really enjoy, I guess, the user experience that we focus on, where some of the TradFi players might not start there, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
absolutely. And we do have a question, and you may not be able to speak to this in general, but I think you will. Yeah. This is from Kuldeep. Thank you for writing in, just asking if an SMSF can have CFDs as an investment.
Yeah, look. There's a blurred line at times with respect to CFD trading and SMSFs. Personally, and I own SMSF myself, I wouldn't use that product specifically. SMSF is a long-term, the idea with your superannuation, it is a long-term product. There are ways to get access to leverage type products. That's not something that we're focusing on right now. Yeah. We're really focusing on that wholesale investor initially. We will look to roll it out to retail in future. Superannuation is one of those products, maybe it's just a morality thing or an integrity thing. For us, it's like that's not something we want to focus on right now.